You were talking about not doing things my way and actually allowing kind of this dimension of the reality of what it looks like to give it to God, the surrender to his process. And before we came on today, I was in prayer, and the Lord gave me a scripture from 2 Kings chapter 5, and it was about Naaman when he goes to get healed by the man of the Lord. By the man of God. And it says in verse 10, and Elisha sent a messenger to him saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again, and you shall be clean. And Naaman really struggles with this thing that the man of God has asked him to do. And then even his servant said, well, if he had asked you to do something much greater, wouldn't you have done that? How much more so if it's something so simple? And I feel like that is, and then anyway, the whole story is that, he goes and washes 7 times in the Jordan, and then he's healed. But as a result of the word of the Lord from the man of God, Elisha, that was designed to bring his healing and his solution. And this is really interesting. And just what you said before, I feel like a lot of I feel like in the season, not just around business, but in this season, God is bringing it back to his way. And so it's no more Frank Sinatra. I do it my way. It's far more about, and some of the times he's going to give us things in business, and maybe through this intensive, he's going to speak to people specifically, or maybe in your world, in other parts of your world. And I feel like the Lord is saying that some of the way that we think he thinks, I think that we think, okay, let me rephrase that. I think that we think every time he communicates to us, there needs to be a level of complexity there. God isn't, I don't feel like he's like that. Now, he puts things out there for us to research, and he speaks sometimes in sayings that we need to discover, and we need to, we seek deeply into the things he says, and things start to unfold. But one of the reasons he does that, I believe, is because he wants to enlarge our capacity. Yeah. But what's really interesting is he doesn't make it complicated, and he never gives you something that you don't have the ability to do. That would be a disaster. Imagine he said, go and do this, and you don't have the ability or support to do that. So I just feel like even with this intensive, for some people that jump on there, it might actually be, you might end up at the end of it getting 4 or 5 words from God, or alignment things happening that are so simple and were just in your face all the time. Yeah. But God is so like that. Sometimes I've worked with businesses before, and I said, what's the word of the Lord? And I'm like, the business is done. God's saying it's time to let go. And they're like, no, and I said, and I've said to people, so that's the word of the Lord. Then they'll get me alongside them again one time. And then they'll say, hey, what's the word of the Lord? And I'll go, how's the business? So how did you go with the transition of that business when you let go of it? And they said, no, I didn't do that. And I go, okay, we're done. I cannot minister to you past that. That was the word of the Lord. And that's people really struggle. Sometimes it's simple. Now, I'm not saying that's for anyone on here, but what I'm saying is that sometimes it's not complicated. Alignment, or a lot of the time, is literally God saying, why don't you do this? It's something that you can easily do. And then as a result of you implementing that, then you will find that divine alignment happen. And then, that new season awaken very quickly after that.